Horizon Worlds. Welcome to Meta News. Again, Horizon's premier news source. And right now, tonight, you're with the Blanco's Business News segment. And tonight, we're going to talk about some very important things that's relevant to all the members of Horizon Worlds. And before I go into this information, I want you to understand that the sources from this information that I'm about to give you are just basic statements and claims and facts made by CNBC, decrypto.co, the Business Insider, even posted on Twitter, and a article called The Verge. Okay, so tonight we want to we at Meta News, we want to express the importance of the Horizon members in understanding um, that even though you may not work for Meta or you're not monetized or getting paid directly through Meta in connection with Horizon Worlds, you are indeed vested because you are here and being here early, being here with where there's less than 500,000 people, actually less than 300,000 people. You are vested because if you're building, you have content here. And if you seek to turn this into an income producing um, situation for yourself, that is wide open. That opportunity is wide open for you. So there's things that are at play that will determine if Horizon will be able to continue and not suffer the same fate as Allspace did. And you have to understand things are more, it's more important for us as individuals to understand the greater mechanism dealing with a platform, especially when you're talking about VR, because this is a new technology still. It's not fully implemented out. It's not fully implemented throughout the metaverse yet. It's still in beta. And there's a lot of things that still must happen, such as funding, such as good publicity and all those other things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a few issues that we're facing right now, so that once you understand these issues, you'll get an idea of why we as individuals must take some type of approach in assisting Horizon Worlds and assisting Meta in making sure that they are able to obtain their numbers in terms of users so that they can continue to get the funding they need and continue to do the investments as well as do the research that it takes to overcome a lot of these technical issues that are needed in order for us to move from beta into a full scale platform. Okay, so first of all, that's issue number one, which is the failing performance of Meta's reality lab. It resulted in a loss of almost $14 billion last year. Although 36 billion has been invested in Meta Labs. So if you have $36 billion that's been invested and they're still having losses, that could affect how easy it is to raise funds to continue to support, or lead the pack in development for Meta's ideals and plans for the future for the metaverse. So then you have issue number two, where Meta's goal is to have 1 billion users in the metaverse between the year 2025 and the year 2030. So right now we know it's 2023, and Meta is documented from having 200,000 people at the end of last year, and they want to have a billion by 2025, a billion users. So you can imagine if you have a billion users, right? How many corporations you would have doing business with Meta, doing business with the members in here, and all of, and the type of revenue it can generate to return the investments for all the investors who've invested over the years and taking an interest in seeing that metaverse is successful. So issue number three is that Meta's revenue it decreased as much as 17% last year, and that's a lot when it decreased by 17% their revenue. So they're bringing in less 17% less than they expected than the year before. And then issue number four is Meta's leadership is being criticized by this. So a lot of people have been complaining about that because they're saying that it's kind of like somewhat inconsiderate that Meta would just reduce its labor force to curb those losses that it's experiencing, um, instead of the leaders taking responsibility and finding some kind of way to correct these things without having to result in getting rid of their workers. Issue number 5: Meta's retention level is 1 of 9 users. So for every 9 users, they retain one user returns out of 9, which is why the numbers are so low. And that's another thing for us to consider, because once we consider these things, there are things that we can do as members and as individual members who are on here, and on here every day as well. You know, issue number 6: Meta's goals is to reach 500,000 monthly active users. Um, it was to reach that many by year 2022, the end of last year, and they fell down to 200,000, and that was another great missing of a milestone that they got real big criticism for. And then issue 7: Meta stock plummeted 67% in 2022. That's way more than half. Their stock plummeted. And that means by that stock plummeting at that rate, they lost $700 billion in marketing value. So, in knowing these things, how does it affect us? Um, the opportunities that we're creating for ourselves in here on this platform, they could all go away along with all the money and all the time we've invested. That's how it could affect us if we don't, as individuals, take interest in what's going on, because we are the frontline people. We are active. We are the builders. We know this venue. We know this platform. We know each other. We are 200,000 strong plus. And I know that we're going to have more people coming to this platform, but it's still Meta. They're just coming from alt space and other places. But, we're still dealing with the core number that we have thus far, which is 200,000. And we, as 200,000 people, imagine if 200,000 people all brought in 10 people alone individually, just went out and reached out and did that. We would solve that problem. And that problem will solve all the other problems, because the performance would go up. The investors would see that we are that Meta and Horizon is meeting milestones, which would bring more funding. So what can we do? We can protect our interests, by filling in the gaps. We can collectively use our outside platforms to promote Horizon World, such as using our Instagram accounts, Snapchat accounts, YouTube accounts, and others. And if we were to take an active step individually and collectively to each one bring in anywhere from 5 to 10 people, we would almost guarantee that Meta would hit its milestones and Horizon definitely would hit its milestones. And so is Meta News. It is our suggestion that we as a community take this seriously and stop thinking about, just our individual projects, and look at how we're really tied into Horizon, as Horizon is tied into Meta, and as Meta is tied into not only what its objectives and goals are, but it's still tied into the financial world, where it takes financing for Meta to continue to lead the pack in trying to bring forth this VR platform to the world. And we still have competitors. We still have, Apple, still have Microsoft, overseas out of China. We still have competitors that's trying to beat us to the punch, or beat Meta to the punch. But like I said, we're part of Meta. We're here. And so regardless of all the little small things that we as individuals might not like about Meta or like about Horizons, because we're coming from an individual standpoint and not a corporate standpoint, we all still should think corporate. We should get the corporate mind to understand that we are really connected and tied together. So make sure to watch this video in its entirety. You go to Meta News for Horizons VR, and that's at the YouTube channel. And you can look for us on Instagram at Meta News, and that's with 2 S's _. That's Meta News spelled with 2 S's at the end with an underscore sign. And we thank you for tuning in tonight. And once again, this is El Blanco. I'm with the Blanco news segment of Meta News, which is Horizon World's premier source for news. Good night.